Close your eyes and think of our beautiful city, Portland, Oregon. With its wonderful history, fabulous shopping districts, and amazing businesses, it's a great place to live. However, a new danger has arisen, threatening both the city as well as the people living within it. In the words of K.O. Williams writing for Oregon Live, the chance of an earthquake hitting the central Oregon region in the next 50 years is between 15 and 20%. It's not even a matter of if, it's a matter of when. That being said, there's only one word to describe the potential impact of the quake: devastating. As OPB predicts, we're looking at a potential higher than 9.0 earthquake in our area. Keeping that in mind, what can you do about this? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. As we talked about before, there's no question about if Cascadia will happen. It's about when it'll happen. As Daily Mail reports, when this potentially 9.2 magnitude earthquake occurs, thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people will be dead or displaced. Oregon Live provides a harrowing prediction, saying that the death toll could reach 10,000 with 30,000 injured. Furthermore, upwards of 85,000 buildings will be damaged and destroyed. And keep in mind that the path of this quake extends right through the Portland area. According to National Geographic, our city is located right along the Ring of Fire, a fault line in which areas around it are prone to horrendous earthquakes. This, also termed in our area the Cascadia subduction zone, is a fault line over 1,000 kilometers long. This line marks the boundary of the two plates, the Juan de Fuca plate and the North American plate. The issue is that these plates are constantly moving at slow rates. If they were to rub against each other along that fault line, then the friction would cause the ground to shake. This would directly impact Portland. We are going to experience this earthquake. That being said, there are things that you're going to have to look out for. Besides the ground shaking, there's a lot that can happen during an earthquake. There are 8 main problems that can happen: flying and falling hazards, aftershocks, liquefaction, landslides, weather events, brownouts, volcanoes, and tsunamis. When the ground begins to shake, the biggest hazard becomes flying and falling debris. During the actual quake itself, scientists recommend you duck under a table or other large object, away from appliances. Stay inside the building and wait until the shaking stops to come out from under the table. There can still be hazards after the original shaking. Aftershocks are like smaller earthquakes that can occur from a few minutes to a few years after the original quake. You might think that it's all over, but there are still potential issues that can occur. Another example of this happens with liquefaction. Consistent with the name, when this happens after the quake, soil basically turns into liquid. Because of this, the dirt can act like potential quicksand and even form 20 feet deep sinkholes that, if fallen into, can seriously injure you. And with liquefaction of the soil, landslides can happen along hills, acting like avalanches in their potential to crush and kill people. If this earthquake were to happen during the winter, then falling snow, rain, and other weather events could be a serious issue. Keep this in mind when thinking about the quake. Another hazard of earthquakes is the possibility of a tsunami. If you live near the ocean, such as in Seaside, then you should always go to higher ground as soon as an earthquake stops. A 7th hazard of earthquakes is brownouts. A brownout is basically when the power grid of a large area fails. And when a quake happens, power lines fall down. You could be without power for days or even weeks, meaning that technology without batteries would fail to charge and work. Finally, the last and maybe the worst hazard of an earthquake is a volcanic eruption.
It's well known that Washington possesses quite a large volcano,
Mount St. Helens. The movement caused by the Cascadia earthquake could cause the volcano to erupt. This in turn spreads a plethora of ashes through the air, as well as further destroys the areas around it. The eruption of this volcano could cause hundreds of deaths, all stemming from the Cascadia earthquake. You can't stop an earthquake from happening, but you can prepare for it. While I can't go through every single thing that you need here, we can talk about the basics. An earthquake can leave you without important supplies for a long time. Keeping this in mind, you should always have the essentials: non-perishable food to eat, water for drinking, which actually you can find excess of in your water heater, jackets for warmth, And toilet paper. I mean, you still need it. Make sure to carry around a flashlight for when it's dark. And, most importantly, a device to communicate with family or others, such as a ham radio. You also need to have a proper first aid kit with you. This includes things such as band-aids, gauze, hydrogen peroxide, and an inhaler if you need it, as well as pills or medications that you might have to have. Make sure to bring a whistle in order to signal to potential rescuers. I can't name them all here though. What I can say is to do your research. Look at local sources such as the Portland CERT team and ashcrest.net to learn exactly how you can prepare for the earthquake. One thing is certain. Make sure that you have enough supplies that you and your family can live on your own without any services for at least 2 full weeks. Plus, you should keep in mind that your neighbors or other people might come to your location in need of supplies. Be prepared to lose some of your stuff. All in all, the issue of the Cascadia earthquake is extremely apparent. Every day we hear more and more about it, and for good reason. Since it's coming any day now, the best thing you can do is be prepared. Make a plan with your family as to what you'll do both during and after the quake. Make a meeting place and know exactly what you intend to do. Cascadia is coming. However, if you're careful with how you prepare and what you do, then there's not much to worry about. With proper preparation and education, you'll have everything you need to survive the 9.0 quake. Thank you for watching. I'm Lohr, and have a good rest of your day.